Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Battlestar Galactica Season 1, Episode 6. I watched today the episodes 4 and 5, and yesterday all of the beginning of the Season 1 and also the mini-series. If you want to see that, if you didn't watch that, I'm gonna put the links, some of the links just right there into the eye. If you are interested to see really all of them, you can go on my channel and check the playlist of Battlestar Galactica. The last episodes, the two last episodes were in fact working together, you know, it was about Starbuck, all about her, and I was glad to have that, to have two episodes about her, because I loved her already, her character, but I wanted to know more about her. We didn't know really more about her background, her story, like what about her parents and all of that, but we learned more about her relationship with Zach and also her relationship with Lee and with Adama's father, because they were searching for her because she was missing. She was on that planet, you know, all by herself. And in fact, she saved herself, you know, like a boss, because she's a boss. And that was great. They recognized her because of her skill as a pilot. That was so great, really. That was so great. And they were searching for her, but they were using a lot of resources, and that was not logical with the fact that they left behind a lot of people, you know, during the last episodes, and right there they were using all of that, and they were putting at risk a lot of people just for one person. I really appreciated the fact that they were talking about it, about the logic behind that decision to continue to search for her. It's something that I really appreciate about the show so far, the fact that they are really asking a lot of philosophical questions, dilemmas, psychological questions. That's interesting because it's asking to the viewers also through that what you would have done if you were them. And yes, that's interesting, and that's also questions of society, you know. In our society now, you know, if you were put into that position, you would have done the same or not. We don't know. So yes, that was really interesting to know more about Starbucks, to see Lee and Adama's father reacting like that, to have these philosophical questions, you know, asked to the characters and to the viewers. And that's it, you know, we closed that story with the last episode. That was interesting to take that time, you know, the two episodes to talk about them, the three of them, because it was confirming the fact that they are the main characters of this show, and it was also making them evolve. And you know how much I love shows which are taking the time, okay, to make stuff happen, you know, big events and stuff like that, but also which are considering their characters and which are taking the time to make them evolve, to express their feelings and all of that. And also I loved these two episodes because they were really explaining right there what strong women can be in a show, and that was so great. Strong women in shows can be other things than manipulative and sexy. They can be badass, they can be powerful, they can have feelings, they can have a relationship, they can be weak, you know, sometimes they can have emotions, and they can still be strong and badass. That's it. I love that. I love shows which are doing that. And if I have to be honest, you know, how they are treating the character of the woman in red, the silent number 6, I prefer to name her the woman in red, how they are treating her character. I know that she's sexy and she's manipulative and she's doing that to Gaius like that, with that way, because this is his fantasy, you know, this is how he's seeing her. I know that, but this is still, you know, a little annoying me each time that she's on screen with him. For creating a sexual tension, it's for sexual subtitles, you know. And again, I know that it's because of him, you know, it's because of the way that he's seeing her. But still, that's something that I don't like, you know, when women are treating like that. Even silence, even hallucinations. I don't like that. Okay, so now we have water. We don't have a lot of fuel because we lost a lot of fuel trying to find Starbuck, but we have water. Do we have enough food supplies? I'm not sure of that. And we are still like jumping and searching for a planet where we can live. I'm not sure that they're gonna find it just like that in some episodes, you know, during the next episodes or even during this season. I think that we're gonna have to wait for seasons for them to find that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really think that. They're trying to find that promised planet, that dreamed Earth, which is not real, which is just there for them to still have hope, to continue to be motivated. I don't know how long it can go, you know, I don't know how long no one is gonna question Adama and what he said. We'll see about that. I don't know how long also they can continue like that. I mean, they have water, okay, but do they have enough supplies? I'm not sure of that. The Cylons are still searching for them because they want to destroy really humanity. And our guys, you know, these refugees, in fact, they are trying to create a new civilization. Or the election, are we gonna have? No, 7 months. And really time is not going too quick during this show. They are really like living a lot of things, but not in a lot of days. So maybe it's gonna be at the end of the second half of the season, the elections, not before that. We'll see. The president also, she's searching for another cure to be better, and I hope that she's gonna be alright, but by searching this new medicine, people are gonna know that she has a cancer. No? We'll see. And we have Helo all alone on the ground with a silent activated boomer who left him. I didn't understand why she was with him first, so I'm not understanding neither why she's not with him now, why she left him. What do you want from him? Don't do anything bad to him, I really appreciate him. Okay, because he's a pleasant guy, but because he's nice, he's brave, he just did good stuff since the beginning of the season. I don't know, but what he did during the first episode, letting his seat like that was something that really impressed me, I think. Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right now and let's go for this episode 6. She has feelings. She loves him. She took care of that child the other time. She was in pain at some point. She can't really feel that, be like that if she's a Cylon. So she thinks that she's in pain because she doesn't know that she's a Cylon. That can be an explanation. I'm not sure of it. Maybe because I love their relationship and I want to believe that was real, but in fact it was not. That also, you know, interrogates my opinion and my thoughts about AI things, you know, robots. Can they really have feelings or not? Like, just right there, silence, they have flesh, they have blood, they have biological corpse, but they're still silent, they're still robots. But I think that what's more confusing me is the fact that sometimes they are activated and sometimes they are not, and when they are not activated they can have feelings, or at least express feelings because they think that they have feelings. That's what is the more confusing for me. And the fact, you know, that we saw the woman in red being sad when she killed that baby, and she also asked to Gaius, he loved her and she was worried about that, really, and we saw her being jealous and we saw her yes, expressing feelings also, like wanting a child with him. So yes, I'm wondering about the fact that when they are not activated, or maybe even when they are activated, because of the fact that when they are not activated they can express feelings because they think that they are feeling that way. Can they have feelings at the end? Maybe I went too far with that. But that's, you know, what intrigues me for now. This episode was really about suspicion, you know, they're suspecting everyone because now everyone knows that silence can have a human appearance. Now I have the confirmation that we have 12 different appearances of silence, but in fact we have a lot of them taking these 12 appearances. So that's interesting. Yes, to tell that it created, you know, paranoia between the characters, but all of this hunt, this witch hunt to find who was responsible for letting that silence entering into that place, that was also creating paranoia and stress, and all of this episode was about that, in fact, about creating paranoia and stress and telling to everyone that no one is safe, but also that everyone can be suspected to be a threat. Do you understand what I mean? So that was really interesting, and that's gonna be also really interesting for the next episodes, because now they are all gonna consider anyone as a threat, and anyone can suspect them to be a threat. So that dynamic, you know, can be interesting to follow. And that's also interesting with the context of the show. You know, it was an atmosphere that existed during the time that this season was written, and I think that we are feeling that during this episode also, and during the mini-series also. Or maybe I'm saying that because it was also the subject of my memoir. I told you about it during the intros of the first episode. But still, you know, even if I understand what Adama's father did, I'm not totally agreeing with that. I'm all for it, you know, for him doing that, because he stopped that mess, that witch hunt, and I'm glad for that, for our characters, you know, for our guys. But in fact, if I'm thinking about the ideas behind that, I'm against it, because if you can't have trials, you know, independent trials into a civilization, that's not really democracy, that's not really how a society can work. Not in my opinion. I mean, it's really just people deciding for other people, and that can't be great, because if you are going too far with that, if you are going at the limits, at the extreme limits of that, that can't be great, in fact. So I'm glad also that they interrogated that issue during that episode, the fact that, in fact, even if they are talking about democracy, about having elections in 7 months now, or maybe a little less, it's not really democracy, because there are still a few deciding for everyone. And you know, they talked about the fact that the police and the army can't be the same entity, because it's not great for democracy. But I really think that also the police, the army and the justice can't be the same person for preserving democracy. And right there, in fact, the justice was not there, you know, was not really going to the end, so that's not great. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now. It's all for Battlestar Galactica for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Crazy.